On the 6th of January 2025, at 1:11:05 a.m., a man named David Morrow was sitting on the balcony of his apartment, enjoying the view of the Pacific Ocean. It was a normal day, like always. Then, about 5 miles away from his apartment, he saw a fire with sparks raging on the hills of Pacific Palisades. Within just 1 hour, this fire grew so much that the smoke completely hid the mountain. If seen in satellite view, this fire was first reported on the hills of Palisades, but after a few hours, it spread to the areas of Eaton Hurst, Kenneth Getty, Scurry Ball, and San Fernando. When this fire broke out, winds of 100 kilometers per hour were blowing here, whose direction was from inland to ocean. Now the question arises that if the fire started in the sands, which are very close to the ocean, then how did the fire spread from there in the opposite direction of the wind to a distance of 30 to 40 kilometers? Once again, the happy spectators can see in the videos that this fire has devastated an area of 38,000 acres, or 150 sq.km. More than 12,000 buildings and houses have been destroyed, and 180,000 people have left their homes. This is the most destructive fire in the history of Los Angeles, which could not be completely extinguished even during the production of this video. Every possible attempt to extinguish the fire is failing. Water bombers are throwing 45,000 liters of water at a time, which seems like a few drops in front of this fire. Special chemicals are used with the help of water bombers. But in front of nature, all the efforts seem to be in vain. In California, where there is already a shortage of water, due to which the fire hydrants were often empty. Due to the fire spreading to 7 different areas, the firefighters and their equipment also got divided. And when the winds of 70 to 100 kilometers hit the fire started flaring up even more. Before knowing the real reason for the spread of the wildfire in Los Angeles, let us first see how many times wildfires have attacked California before this. If we look at the data of the last 25 years, then California has been the hotspot of wildfire. In the year 2003, the Cedar Fire in San Diego County attacked 273,000 acres. The fire that started flaring from the 25th of October died down on the 4th of November, 2003, in 2017. The Tabs Fire burned 36,000 acres, and this too occurred in the month of October, again in 2017. The Thomas Fire turned 280,000 acres into ashes. This fire started in December and ended in January. On the 8th of November 2018, the Camp Fire burned 5 lakh acres and ended after 17 days on the 25th of November. Similarly, in 2020, the Glass Fire attacked 67,000 acres, and this too started in September and ended after a full month in October. If the dates of all these wildfires are looked at, one thing is very common in them: winters, that is, these wildfires have occurred only in the winter months, and right now the Los Angeles wildfire also occurred in peak winters. So what is the reason that in the history of California, most of the wildfires occurred only in winters? Is the answer to this question. It is hidden in a phenomenon called Santa Ana winds. Yes, Santa Ana winds are hot and dry winds that blow in Southern California and Baja California, especially during autumn and winter. On Earth, if we look at it, there is only desert far and wide in the east of California, which is also called Mojave Desert or Great Basin. The heat of the sun heats up the desert, due to which the air pressure here seems to increase. On the other hand, if we talk about the ocean, the air here is cold and the pressure is low. We had studied in the 6th grade that the air travels from high pressure to low pressure. The greater the difference in pressure, the faster the air will travel. And something similar happens here as well. Santa Ana winds from southeast California move rapidly towards the ocean. These dry and hot winds suck the moisture wherever they pass. Due to this, the entire region becomes dry in this season. Bushes and trees become completely dry, which easily catch fire. Santa Ana winds turn the entire forest into fuel for wildfires. If a fire breaks out by mistake, the strong winds inflate the fire even more. The burning coal spreads rapidly, and in the blink of an eye, the wildfire goes out of control. Now what should happen is that the wildfire should spread in the same direction in which the wind is blowing. But in the case of Los Angeles, the exact opposite was seen. The fire was first seen near the Palisades, which are close to the ocean, and later it spread to the inland areas. To understand the real reason why this is so, we have to understand an interesting phenomenon, which is called mountain wave rotor. The side of the mountain on which the wind directly hits is called the windward side, and the other side of the mountain, where the wind has to go, is called the leeward side. What happens is that when the windward side stops the wind, then at the same time a vortex effect is created on the leeward side, and in this vortex, the wind keeps rotating round and round. The direction of wind above the mountain is in one direction, whereas below the mountain the direction of wind is in the other direction. In the case of Los Angeles also, this phenomenon has a big role. The place where the fire was first reported is on the leeward side, and due to the mountain wave rotor, the wind was generated in the opposite direction from the top of the mountain, which became the biggest reason for the fire to spread to the inland areas. Once a wildfire grows too much, then it gives rise to many strange phenomena. Some such phenomena are very difficult to predict. One of them is fire tornado. This is a rare and dangerous phenomenon which is formed during intense wildfires. It is like a tornado, but inside it there is only fire and hot wind, which is unbelievable due to the fire. The hot air, due to the heat, rises upwards very fast, and the cold air from below comes to fill the space. This updraft creates a rotational motion which pulls the surrounding dry bushes into the fire tornado and makes the vortex even more terrifying. Now this fire tornado starts dominating the wind blowing in the area and starts creating its own wind inside it, the direction of which is also very difficult to predict, but there are high chances that it will increase the wildfire upwards along the mountain. Wildfire is a reality, and due to climate change, it is monitored with greater frequency in the coming years. Nowadays, with the help of artificial intelligence, the direction of the spread of the fire is also predicted, and then all this information is shared with the firefighters. Firefighters try to spray chemicals around the fire so that the fire does not spread too much. But in Los Angeles, when firefighters first controlled the fire in one area, the fire spread to other places through the wind. The first recorded wildfire in America's history was in 1871 near Michigan. In this wildfire, 12 lakh acres were reduced to ashes and 2,500 lives were lost. From the Pago Fire of 1871 to today's Los Angeles wildfire, nature is giving us signals that controlling fire is still almost impossible. But if we try to understand nature and instead of fighting climate change, try to live according to it, then perhaps the series of wildfires can be stopped again. Hope you all will like and share this video a lot. Thank you very much for the loving comments of the people. See you in the next great video.